These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Hey, Louisiana woman.
Mississippi man, we'll get together every time we can. Mississippi River can't keep us apart.
There's too much love in this Mississippi heart.
Too much love in this
These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. My name is Marlon Wells. Alongside me is Nathan Folsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
You are on the internet.
I sure am.
I'm looking
on
at
the
you.
World Wide Web.
Looking at your fucking lawnmower man face over here.
The future is today.
It is now. We are living it. Crash
very
and
damp.
burn.
I got ahead of myself describing my how I'm feeling.
Oh boy, how are you feeling?
I am very damp. I drove 6 hours, and what for the upper Midwest was a goddamn heat wave. And I haven't had a chance to rectify the dampness. So now it's settling in like an old, like an old world forest damp, you know?
Oh, boy.
The peat moss is accumulating.
Oh, boy.
That fire will never be put out.
You're going to have a fucking wood nymph marching through your pubes.
That's a wood nymph, some hardy stock there, boy.
Somewhere in your taint, there's a mushroom with a tiny wizard sitting on it, smoking a pipe.
That fucking wood nymph could razor's edge a fucking gnome anytime it wanted to.
Got them Spencer's posters balls. Glowing and fuzzy. Gross.
When's the last time you bought something at Spencer's?
Oh, boy.
Did your age start with a 1 or a 2?
I bet I bet that it started with a 1.
Yeah. I say that, but if I could have still fit into their t-shirt selection in my 2s, I would have bought a t-shirt. Who am I? Who am I to act like I'm better than Spencer's Gifts?
Yeah, I ain't above it. I just, I bet the last thing I bought there, I bet I was 19, and I bet it was a set of Ninja Turtles shot glasses.
Is
green translucent glass with a mask on each one, and I bought all 4. And then ran them through the dishwasher one time, and all the masks came off, and I had 4 plain green shot glasses.
Of course they did.
Yeah, the shoddiest of stickers on those glasses.
I was picturing elderly Marlon taking his meds out of those shot glasses.
All right, Lexapro.
Another day, Raphael.
just cutting quotes from the movies. Just got a fucking shot glass full of pills going, the pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
The CNA doesn't even bother hiding it when they take your money out of your wallet. You're just powerless to
Wise man say, never pay full price for late pizza. Throwing back my fucking pills.
Very dignified for a ninja.
Fucking looking like Splinter from that first movie.
Just a thin, wispy, long mustache.
Splinter looks fucking tough in that first movie because he's chained to a wall getting the shit kicked out of him for 80 of the 90-minute runtime.
They're mean to Splinter.
That's
like beating up a dog.
Take your day out on this rat who just wants to help people.
Fucking punch a dog that isn't asking for it. You're a fucking lunatic. Just to witness that on the street, like some guy checks his mail, sees a dog running down the street, just intercepts it and knocks it out.
Fucking assholes. Lunatics.
Then just runs in with their mail. Like that was all planned.
It's going to be a good day. I got to kick a dog for no fucking reason.
Dog gets up. It's a little fucking weak-kneed, but it gets going again.
God. Animals. Fucking dickheads live in this world. Shit. Fucking, it's hotter than balls in this apartment. I also got some swamp fog going on.
Have to give both of these chairs the dip when we're done. Like we're de-hiding pig carcasses. We're dipping office chairs in boiling water.
God, my fucking nerd ass went to Roger Rabbit's dip. Like, fuck this chair.
They could probably use that too. Multiple dips.
Oh God, yeah. Set this thing on fire.
You know who I'm pretty sure doesn't punch stray dogs, Marlon?
Who's that?
The Simpsons.
Attaboy. Every time, every week, I'm like, certainly he can't this week. Oh, I'll be goddamn.
Flawless segue.
Yeah.
We are kind of getting close to the end of season 28. We're in episode 16, titled Camp Krustier, which I'm assuming there was an early season called Camp Krusty. Gotta be.
Yeah, well, it's that episode. They mention it at the top here. The episode from season 4 where the kids like go full on Lord of the Flies on Camp Krusty.
Yeah, good call. That's exactly what it is.
That's what this whole episode's based on.
And the episode, you would think, starts in camp, but it does not. It starts with Homer and Marge screwing in the treehouse, which, give them credit, that's a new one. That is definitely a new one.
Yeah, good for them.
Turns out they've been screwing all over the house. That's been their
snuggling.
thing. Snuggling all over because the kids have been at Camp Krusty. Is it for 6 weeks? I think they said.
Yeah.
You and I have discussed we're not camp boys. We were never camp boys. But doesn't that seem long? God, that can't be what normal camp is.
Seems like a long time, yeah.
That's half of your summer vacation at camp. But
I can't imagine going to camp.
Hey, take your shirt off. No, thank you.
No, I'm good.
And them not taking that answer of like, nope, that's not acceptable. Like, well, I'm just going to walk into the woods, I guess.
Right. Listen, how far do you want to push this, counselor? Yeah. Because at some point, this gets creepy for you.
I'm an 11-year-old boy, but I'm pretty stout.
At some point, you are just demanding that a child take their clothes off. And how do you think the internet's going to react to this?
I know it's 1998, but it's the internet's coming. I got a cousin with an email address.
You want to be on the right side of history, huh?
Yeah.
Bridget or whatever fucking high schooler name you have. Sonia.
But like all good things must come to an end. Camp eventually ends, so no more fucking in the rando parts of the house. So they load up into the car.
That's a sad day when you got to hang up the free fucking.
Realize you like your wife again and have a great 6 weeks and then just fucking, oh my God.
Oh,
those
good.
little
the kids
shits
are back.
They're just going to scream. Imagine like having people screaming in your house for 8-10 years and then for a miraculous month they're gone, but then they come back. Oh, that's going to be tough on you.
That's got to be a rough one.
So them and a bunch of other Springfieldians are waiting for a bus to drop off their kids. And we find that in typical Camp Krusty fashion, the camp was a fucking nightmare. Do we really get any like fucking like long explanation, but we just get clips of the insanity,
yeah. And it's all fucking Lord of the Flies shit, Bart fucking setting the tennis camp next door on fire.
Yeah. You're right. They raid next door. Yeah.
And like I said, there's that placard right at the beginning of this episode that says back in season 4. So this is all set right. This is set in the timeline right at season 4, which I think is crazy. And
oh shit, yeah, I never put two and two together. Yeah,
because that's where that episode happened, where they find out that Camp Krusty has cut all these corners and shit, and I think they try to pass off Barney as a fake Krusty.
Yeah, you're right. We do get a Barney appearance, the far too seldom Barney appearance.
Yeah, but it's them just fucking going bug nuts on this camp.
And the parents quickly realize that these kids should probably just talk to a counselor, some kind of trauma therapist. And a lot of these kids are pretty fucking shook. Like, Bart is not. He had, of course, because he's a monster child, he had the time of his life.
Yeah.
Until he kind of... I love when Bart uses logic, because it doesn't happen much, but occasionally he can be kind of crafty. He's got street smarts, and he puts 2 and 2 together and he figures out, holy shit, if I just lean into this hard and pretend it's bugging me, I don't have to go to school. And on the other side of the fence, Lisa, who is shook, Lisa's not doing so hot. She pretends she's doing fine because she doesn't want to miss school, which that was a fun,
Yeah, I like that.
And Bart, once he finds out, because Marge, whenever anyone tells her how to be a parent, she thinks takes their fucking word 100%. Like, oh, we got to just don't make him do anything. He can't handle any stress. So, and God, Bart plays it up. So fucking, he is just a lump the whole time. He's laying around, and Marge serves him hand and foot like he's a fucking sultan, like ridiculous. Like, and Homer, justifiably so, had just had a fun 6 weeks with Marge, and now she wants nothing to do with him because she's wasting all of her energy on Bart, to the point that Homer does the unthinkable and went to work early. This is one of the better premises they've had for any storyline in a while. Like, him getting there, like, I can't believe how good the parking is. And when he goes, hot coffee, who ever heard of such a thing?
There's so many donuts here right away.
And since none of his buddies are there, he does also the unthinkable and actually gets work done. Like, him just slowly reading that, like, nuclear handbook with those reading glasses on is so good. What a Lenny and Carl, they see him, like, they're concerned in some way. I can't think of what they think he's doing.
Yeah, they're like, is he reading? He had said when he finds the book, he's like, oh, I was supposed to read this when I first started this job, but I didn't want my buddies to think I was a nerd. And then they kind of sneak up on him while he's reading, and they're like, is he reading? Yeah, I think he is. What a nerd. Lenny immediately justifies that fear from Homer.
But Homer's so enthralled. He just loves this. He's just burning through the pages, which was good. And he even gets involved in work ways he wouldn't, telling Smithers how to save $5 by getting the new member, the new prospective customer subscription to Nuclear Safety Magazine. And fucking Smithers is just over the moon with that savings idea, which I love. I don't know if I'll give a full thought on the episode till the end, but this fucking idea of Homer getting to work early and the fact that sex is out of his mind and is not part of his thinking anymore makes him this A+ man. Is such a good. It's crazy that this hasn't been used before. We're fucking 28 seasons into the show.
As soon as you cut that out of his brain, he's a superstar at work and everything. And they keep doing the Simpson thing of showing the inside of his brain and all the little Homers working in there.
Originally you see this this machine surrounded by little Homers that's long been abandoned. Yeah. And then when he starts, and then it eventually starts building and humming at a really nice pace. And it's right around here. I think it's when he goes home after that first day of work, he puts 2 and 2 together. He realizes, oh, wait, if I don't have sexual urges, I can actually get shit done. And he leans into it. And he wants to, it's almost like you get into something, you want to see how good you can get at it.
Yeah, exactly. See how far they can take this.
Yeah, I've never done anything important at work now. I want to see how good I can get at it. To the point, Marge senses what's going on here, and she's still attracted to him, and Homer is turning Marge away, which, far as I know, that never happens on this show.
Even Marge says that. You're saying no? What?
Yeah. Because they love to stuff. No way around that. We got 28 seasons and proof of that.
Couple of stuff lovers.
Frustrated Marge makes Homer go to couples therapy, and they tell her that to turn things back to normal, she has to bring the kids back to Camp Krusty to face their demons. It's we got to start at the beginning, get Bart to face whatever problem he has, and that's their way of okay, start at the beginning, fix that, and then everything should get back to normal, which, I don't know.
Fix you, fix you, you got to fix your kids, because that's what's wrong with you, is that you're so concerned about your traumatized kids. So.
Yep. And that's what they do. I think this is one of those episodes where there's pretty much just one storyline. I guess we get Bart's whole trying to keep the ruse going thing, but that's pretty early. Once it gets into this part, it's a lot of Homer and Marge and their relationship.
Yeah, I would call it like a 1A and a 1B, because like the two stories are Homer and Marge, and then Bart and Lisa, dealing with what happened
when they start
Camp
piecing
Krusty.
together. Yeah,
but they are pretty closely intertwined.
So we're going back to Camp Krusty, and we find out now that it's no longer Camp Krusty. It's some kind of like adult spa. Is that how you would describe it?
Adult retreat, yeah. It's called Club Krusty.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a sexual overtone, but it ain't like a Turkish bathhouse. Like there ain't people fucking against trees or anything like that. Like
it ain't Exit to Eden, which is
there you go.
Reference for nobody.
Yeah. People that are big fans of Rosie O'Donnell's film career.
Yeah, remember that? Rosie O'Donnell and was it Dan Aykroyd?
I think it's Aykroyd. You're right. Yeah.
Killing it with the references over here.
God, if you could drop like 4 more Rosie O'Donnell movie references.
Oof.
I mean, League of Their Own comes easy, but the next 2. Oh, I know another one. You could do Flintstone movie.
Ah, shit. See, I wouldn't have pulled either of those, I don't think.
Yeah. But I tell you what, that 4th one, you're on your own.
I don't think I could have pulled League of Their Own, and I love League of Their Own.
No, really, yeah. She's Madonna's character's friend.
Yeah. I can, as soon as you said it, I can see her, but I'd have never fucking thought of it.
And we get a Barney appearance and a Kirk Van Houten appearance. Well, that's always a sign things are going okay. When Kirk approaches Homer and Marge, and he's like, "Well, yeah, look like I could take my robe off. I'd be totally naked." We wouldn't want that, and unless that's what you want. And God, Kirk is so fucking desperate and sad.
God. And like doing that classic shit of like, I'm just joking unless you're into it, except he's saying it all out loud. And then so when Marge like shuffles him away, he's like, good thing I was joking.
Yeah.
It's so fucking gross.
It's so perfect for Kirk. Yeah, that's just who he is.
Yeah, Kirk sucks so hard.
So while Homer and Marge, they realize this place ain't for kids, so they shove Bart and Lisa into some kind of like on-site daycare while they're checking the place out. And it's we've had this gag a couple times where those two get stuck somewhere where everyone else is like age 2. Because they're playing some kind of fun little kid game. I can't think of what it is, but they're singing
Who Took the Cookie from the Cookie Jar.
And Bart is like getting into the arts and crafts aspect of it. Like Lisa's like, we're here for a reason. Like we want to figure out what happened that traumatized us.
When she's like, "Come on, we gotta go and figure this out," he's like, "But I'm 4 loops away from finishing my pot holder," and it's a pot holder that says "Get Baked."
Yeah. So while they break out of there, and we've kind of gotten glimpses of something that happened during a canoeing trip. Like there's a capsizing. We don't know what happened because we only always see it through their eyes. Like, so we never quite get we never get an unbiased narrator. It's always through someone else's eyes. And that it starts to come to them, and I think maybe they see the water or something like that, and the whole canoe thing comes back to them. And that's when they realize, wait a second, there was a 3rd kid named Charlie on this canoe, and they never saw him again. So, like, what happened to Charlie?
Yeah.
And they are now kind of on a mission. Meanwhile, it's like, what were Homer and Marge expecting to find? You know what I mean? Like, on their own without the kids, when this is clearly no longer a camp. So, like, we find out Marge had a goal of just getting Homer alone somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Marge is just leading Homer out to the woods.
Yeah. And what she does, and she is successful. She uses her feminine charms to finally get the old Homer back. And the scene of the factory worker's head inside Homer's head right now, that's solid gold.
Yeah.
Like the sinking of the Titanic, that guy's playing the violin and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the foreman of Homer's brain comes over and is like, come on, play something to get him in the mood. And he plays Charge on the bugle? What? I don't know that I could maintain an erection while Charge is playing.
Bugle play is startling, Like,
bugles are alarming.
Your fight or flight will kick in.
Maybe that's what you need.
You're liable to shit. I mean, which in this case, they are in the woods, so that would worse places to shit.
Do it like the bears.
Yeah. So Lisa and Bart go to the camp security and tell them about Charlie. And I can't think if it's the Hey Pally guy, but it's someone very similar. It's a guy that's not easily shook. That is,
I think it is Pally.
Yeah. And he's like, he hears it. He's like, okay. And then he's like, come with me. He's not very worried. You could tell. He takes them back, but kind of like somewhere in the camp. And we find out that Charlie is actually just a little person pretending to be a child because he was writing an undercover piece for Departures magazine. Just so, and like a free giveaway magazine on like an airplane or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's like travel based. Yeah.
In 2016 or 2017, whatever year this is, they had enough money at Departures magazine to send a little person to go undercover at a children's camp. Like, it's so, well, that's not what's dumb. What's dumb is, why is he just working there now?
Right.
He's like, he's a masseuse, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. He's why?
Yeah. Yeah. That part it's bad writing, but it's at least ridiculous, I guess. I'm like, oh God, this is stupid. But like, why? Yeah. And it was everything was tied together pretty well until this. And yeah, that's really it for the major plot points. Marge has got old Homer back. The kids realize that Charlie didn't die. He's actually a 30-year-old man. And that's really it. Like, decent episode. Again, I thought this had so much potential. Like, but because I just love the premise of the man that Marge always wanted. She gets and she realizes, I don't want this
at all. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'd rather be stuffing.
Yeah, she needs him to get it in. That's all that matters. He's a failure in every other way.
But at least he can throw wood. Yeah, it's and I love the Homer being early for work shit. Oh God, when he pours that coffee, hot coffee, who'd have thought?
Yeah, he's like genuinely startled by all these things. Like,
boy, there's a lot of parking.
Yeah. As someone that worked in the radio biz, were you ever that guy? Like first in? Or was it never empty?
No, it was always fucking empty. But like, there were plenty of stretches in my radio career where I was there early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like getting there to run the board for a nationally syndicated morning show, just to push buttons in the studio. And like, it's just you and the local morning show people. So it's like, hey guys, sure is the six of us.
Yeah. I had the opposite any job I've had. I've been the person that works late enough where you're the last people to leave.
Oh, sure.
Which is a different kind of weirdness. It's like, Jesus, when you get there, it's balls to the wall, busiest time. And as your day goes on, all of a sudden it's like, there's 3 people here and this building meant to hold 2,000, like, yeah, it's a weird vibe late at night. Like,
I always would rather get there early and leave early. Like, I don't want to be at work at 8 p.m., even if that means I don't have to show up till noon. I don't want that.
There's something I think that I like, though, about but your shift is at its laxest when you leave. Like, the last hour or so is just cake. Like, everything's chill. But
it's that way in a fucking 9 to 5, too. Nobody does dick after 3 p.m. on any given, not in any job I've ever had, anyway.
Yeah, customer service is the one different one. Like, they're, you can be just nightmaring it all the way till the end if it's busy, like.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you should look into the world of call center employment. I think
I'm good.
Rain check.
I tried doing a fucking call center gig in, I'm gonna say 2017. I went through the fucking 2 weeks of training, And then I went through after 2 weeks of training, then it's like super closely supervised 2 weeks. And I made it through the first week of that. And I was like, I gotta go. I can't. I'm going to fucking put a gun in my mouth.
Too exciting is, I think, what you're...
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah.
They give me a whole beat-to-piss office chair, but I only need the edge.
Fucking... I was working... It was at a bank, and I was in the fucking fraud department, so the only calls you were taking, it was exclusively people who were standing at a cash register, and their card is being declined because it's been flagged as fraud. And 9 times out of 10, there's been no fraud. They are just, like, the system found that they were 3 states away from where they usually are, so it shut it down automatically. And they want that problem fixed now because there's 20 people behind them at this Bass Pro Shop, and they want you dead.
Yeah. That's why the people that are like that have another card on hand.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fucking figure it out, you know?
Yeah, would you pay it fucking somehow and then figure it out?
Call later that day, like Jesus Christ. But these are some, oftentimes probably some pretty hopeless fucking people too. You know,
yeah, it was fucking. Or sometimes they would call up fucking all hot, and you'd be like, "Well, I mean, I have to go through some of these purchases with you, and you tell me if any of them are wrong." Well, I'm fucking blah, blah. And then you'd be like, "Okay, did you spend $395 at a Publix in Memphis, Tennessee 2 days ago?" Well, no. Well, that's why we're talking, sir.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've been around humanity much since around 2017 to current, but they don't apologize then.
Yeah. Yep, that's over. Oh, you get an oh. Whoa. Like that's a funny way to pronounce I'm sorry, but
right.
It must be a regional dialect.
Oh, well, how'd that happen? And then they're mad about something, you know.
I'm not the police, I guess.
Right.
I'm not magic.
Well, you guys should have done something. We did. We shut your card down. That's why we're talking right now.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're struggling. Your pronunciation is not very good.
You dumb fucking pud.
That is pud activity right there.
You're forgetting that I could look at all of your financial information right now. You have more money than I will ever see, ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. You be mad at God, sir, but you can't be mad at me.
Yeah. You will pay more in taxes than I will make in the next 20 years. Actually, you probably have figured out a way
because of how this country works. No, you fucking won't.
Yeah.
Fucking flip this laptop over. Yeah. Scare the cat.
Yeah.
Episode 17 is 22 for 30. And I was pretty excited right away because I was like, boy, I like sports documentaries. You know, 30 for 30 usually provides some fucking good shit. So let's see what we're doing here.
Kind of wild that 30 for 30 is like relevant enough to have like a Simpsons parody episode. Like,
yeah, 30 for 30s are big. Like,
yeah.
And somehow I bet I've seen fucking 3 of them. Like,
okay.
I haven't seen many.
I'm probably I bet I'm at about 20. I've seen quite a few of them.
I think I saw like the Fab Five one. I think that was an early one. I've seen the Ric Flair one, and I think I've seen the XFL one.
Oh yeah, I could stand to rewatch that XFL one.
I have a really good book on my shelf called Long Bomb that is about the XFL.
Oh no shit, that'd be.
It's like, and it goes like from conception to shutting her down and turning the lights off.
I am pretty sure that they have on the next iteration of the XFL ready to go. Like, I don't know if we'll see it this spring. I think we might. I think it might be coming back this spring.
I think so. Like, fucking The Rock bought it, by which I mean The Rock and 40 other people, you know, but they threw the face on there.
Yeah.
I think they were doing okay until fucking COVID showed up.
Yeah, I think so. They fucked up the first time, then they came back and they fixed shit.
Yep. I think they were doing as good as could be expected, is what I mean by okay, I guess. But
I'm still convinced if you do it right that America would consume a spring, early summer football league.
Yeah, and I don't know that I agree with you. I think they're ready to be done with football by the time football's over.
Yeah, well, I guess, we'll probably see it this year, this spring, because, like, what could they blame it on if it doesn't work this time,
Right, yeah. If this one's a strike out, then maybe you put it to bed, guys.
It'd be weird to have one of those teams in your city and, like, become real passionate about it,
I would. Like, if there was a Fargo XFL team, I would be the biggest fucking mark.
Just wrapping your car in Omaha extreme colors.
Somewhere in this home, somewhere in a tote, there is I have a fucking Memphis Maniacs jersey from the first go-round of the XFL. That's
awesome. How did you get your hands on it?
I fucking bought it on eBay in my early 30s. Like, what I need? A fucking bright teal XFL Memphis Maniacs jersey.
Well, if you like teal, you should be looking at a late 90s Vancouver Grizzlies Big Country Bryant Reeves jersey.
Okay.
That's
I'll
also
add it to the list.
Yeah. Because I think they might have changed the jerseys in Memphis right when they moved there, so they're slightly less garish. But that Vancouver jersey, that was a sight to behold.
Yeah, because now they're pretty like forest tones, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, hunter green. Fuck off.
Yeah, more teal. Make it look like a kid should be wearing it as a windbreaker.
100%.
Yeah.
The Memphis Maniacs, if you're curious, did spell their name Maniax. So
perfect.
Pretty cool.
They're very extreme.
Their logo is like a cartoon face with crazy hair and like the hypnotist circle eyes. Very cool stuff. Graphic design was somebody's passion.
Grown women love it.
That's why it's in a tote somewhere.
Yeah. That's for date 3.
It's I probably also bought that 3 sizes ago. And I don't know
Men's
if you
medium.
I don't know if you know about jerseys, but you can't really like tug them and stretch them out. They are the size they are.
They're very unforgiving.
Yeah.
You can't lie to a jersey.
No, you cannot.
You fitting into XLs, or are you wearing an XL that's blowing out to a 3XL? Put on an XL jersey and call me back.
Yeah, then you'll find out what size you actually are if you're in a jersey. Yeah. Fucking looking like a tube of fucking cookie dough, you doughy bitch. Look like you just had a litter of pups. Get your life together.
Whoops, all tits.
I could feel you winding that one up. I could feel charging up the Kamehameha. I felt it.
God, I'd be so bashful to put a football jersey on because it would bum me out so fast. It's a 9XL. This doesn't make sense.
Fucking ordered a 15XL tall, and it's still got gut sticking out the bottom.
Yeah, still above the navel. That's not good at all.
Need a jersey that's also a nightgown. Looking for jerseys in that prom dress length.
Accessorize with a belt.
Why can't I find a football jersey with a train on it?
Holy shit, a teenage girl wearing a Memphis Maniacs jersey to fucking prom. So good.
She's going places.
Yeah.
Memphis, mostly.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is one of those that so many of the jokes are just in the visual and the style that I kind of don't have a ton of notes as far as recap goes. Because so many of the jokes are just thematic, but we'll do what we can. We get like the deep voice narrator talking about, the scandal in Springfield. This is a documentary about Bart's point shaving scandal.
This just seems so forced to me. It's like, whenever they have, how much I enjoy it, where they really lean hard into one show and kind of have a parody of it almost. But I was like, God, this just seems so dumb already. But you know what? I was holding back. I'm like, again, I'll save my thoughts to the end. But I was fucking trepidatious, to say the least, when this began.
It's certainly better than the Homeland episode, but that's pretty low bar. Bart ends up getting detention for a bees prank that he did, where he sent out a memo to have everyone wear white, but then also sent a note to Skinner that he had to wear a floral print shirt. And then they're having a bee celebration at school, and so the bees all attack Skinner because he's wearing a floral print shirt. And everyone else is dressed in white, so he was kind of the only fucking target. And then Bart discovers he's good at basketball by throwing crumpled up paper into the waste paper basket in detention. And that's not how you discover you're good at basketball.
Basketball is the one sport you can usually figure out if you're good at, because you don't need anyone else. You can I can make baskets. You don't need a whole lot.
Yeah. It's
There's baskets in every shitty neighborhood. There's baskets in every nice neighborhood. Every fucking farmyard usually has a shitty hoop nailed to something.
Yep, above the roll-up garage door, or if you're real bougie, it's in the Quonset, so you can play on pavement.
I never thought of that. Yeah,
I've shot around plenty on the back wall of a fucking Quonset.
Yeah. But you could play. Quonsets are high enough ceilings. You could shoot jumpers in there, yeah.
Yeah, the only issue is sometimes it's full of fucking combines and corn headers, and then what are you supposed to do?
And I will say, too, cement isn't the best place to play basketball. Sometimes that gets a little slick, and that's a good way to pull your groin. All of a sudden you're doing the splits.
Yeah, because there was a cumulative half a teaspoon of grit or sand on the concrete.
You will go for a ride.
Yeah.
We got Skilo's "I Wish I Was a Baller" during the montage. That's a good pull.
Yeah, I had not heard that song in a long time, but I perked up for sure. I was like, oh, look at this.
Skilo once came through and played a dive bar that you used to frequent.
That I did?
Yeah.
Was it the Nestor?
It was the Nestor.
Of course it fucking was.
What kind of check are they cutting for Skilo, I wonder? He making a grand? I mean, he's driving to Fargo.
He ain't making a fucking grand.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, maybe he was in Minneapolis the night before.
I think
that's depressing.
5 Hondo in a bed.
Jesus Christ. Fucking, is he by himself? Does he not have a DJ? I hope he's got all of his DJ shit on his own phone. He's got to stop and fucking do a few beat bop boops to get it ready.
Plug it in halfway through the show. He starts getting text messages.
Yeah.
Like, God, shit. Hang on, guys.
Yeah. Uno momento. The party's about to get started.
I mean, for what it's worth, I hope that he's making good money because that song rules. But
I got no beef with Skilo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Boy, that place needed to get fucking bulldozed. Thank God it did. I love that place, but thank God it's gone.
The charm alone, though.
I once at a friend's birthday party in that place fucking walked in on my buddy doing a fucking Herculean line of Charlie off of the toilet seat in the men's room. Not the tank like a normal person, but off the seat. And and the kicker is that not an hour before that, I walked into that same bathroom and saw on that same toilet a different buddy stuffing his lady on that toilet seat. I'm like, buddy, you can't do cocaine off of this toilet seat.
There's a lot of things going on, and probably only one of them is meant for toilets, and that's shitting. That's what a toilet seat's for, right?
It ain't for love making or drug doing.
Yeah. Oh boy. Jesus. Ooh.
That was one of those places. If you put a drop of hand sanitizer on the floor, it would sizzle and melt through to the basement.
Xenomorph blood.
Oh, shit. So Bart's good at basketball, it turns out. And so he's on the basketball team, and he's the fucking superstar, and of course is immediately a shithead. Like, just a fucking Deion Sanders hot dog and shithead. Getting special
and just
treatment.
Absurdly good.
Yep. He's an amazing basketball player, and getting fucking free squishies at the Quickie Mart and shit, like getting showered in gifts, and it all goes straight to his head immediately.
Yeah.
To the point where he's not practicing with the rest of the team, and Willie, the groundskeeper Willie, is like, fuck this, I'm not coaching then, and he stops being the basketball coach. So, of course, Homer is the new coach.
Does he know anything about basketball? Not a fucking thing.
Nope. No, that's not true. He does know one thing, because they announce him as the new coach in the gym at a press conference, and someone in the press asks that very question, do you know anything about basketball? And his response that I wrote down is, shower at home so no one makes fun of your weenie.
Yeah. That was good. I forgot about that.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And too close to home.
Yeah.
So Homer's the coach now.
Wearing shower briefs.
What is it on Scrubs? For the man who has nothing to hide, but still wants to. So Homer, Homer had been pretty into this, because Bart being such a superstar and him being a sports dad, of course, fucking living vicariously, but finally has enough of Bart's bad behavior and benches him, sits him down, because he's being a shit ass. And that's when Bart meets up with Fat Tony, because Fat Tony has been coming to the games and likes Bart's hot dog style and has some proposals for him. They go and get cannoli. And have you ever had a cannoli, Nathan?
I don't believe I have.
Me neither. We should be cannoli pals. It looks great.
And I've been to places where it's on the menu, but I panic. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I like it, so I just get something. I get some basic bitch shit like chicken Alfredo or something like that
for dessert. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cannolis are a desserty baked good, right?
Cannoli's dessert. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I don't know why I was thinking that.
No, I like the idea of you ordering
I
like the idea of you ordering chicken Alfredo for dessert.
Yeah, just as a fucking, an aperitif, like clear my palate with some chicken Alfredo.
I just housed a fucking monster slice of lasagna. Let's have some chicken Alfredo just to wash it down.
Serve it one of those ice cream dishes. A little fancy with a little spoon.
But cannolis look good. They appear to just be like some manner of like thin puff pastry shaped into a dick and then filled with some manner of filling.
Creamy goodness.
Yeah, like most dicks. Yep.
Yeah.
They look fucking delicious. So
like most dicks, am I right? Up top.
Hey, you high five your webcam, knock it off.
Knock everything down.
Oh no! Just 20 minutes of you stumbling and bumbling trying to get your shit together. You're gonna cut this out, right? It? Not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
So Fat Tony and Bart get into the business of points shaving, and I don't know enough about sports betting that I barely know what they're talking about here. Like, we still won the game, but we didn't win by enough to beat the spread, and I barely understand the spread or why people bet on it. I don't
think there's been a big case of it since like the late 90s, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Actually, Netflix beat ESPN to the punch, and they made a documentary about like the late 90s one. I think it was some Southwest school, like Arizona State, New Mexico State, possibly one of those schools had a case of it.
There's a case of referees point shaving, wasn't there? Like
in the NBA, perhaps. Yeah,
in the NBA, like within the last 20 years.
Yep, early aughts, I would say. Yep.
Yeah, just
I forgot about that.
Calling fouls to keep it close. Yeah.
Yeah. Which they could do. They could definitely help control the flow of a game enough to adjust the point spread.
Yeah. Thankfully, they have Lisa explain what points shaving is, and then she makes a joke where she's like, and I'm only in this, aren't I, just to explain what this is. Bart finally realizes what's up, what he's been doing, because he kind of didn't know. And they're going into the championship game, and Fat Tony wants him to lose. He wants him to throw the game. And fucking Milhouse takes out Bart on the court because Fat Tony also got to Milhouse somehow. And fucking that shot of Bart like slow motion driving the lane, and Milhouse just punching him in the dick. Just comes from off screen and just bam.
There's no reason for it to be in the dick. Not at all.
It didn't have to be this way, Milhouse.
That's Milhouse cashing in 10 years worth of receipts is what that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
28 seasons worth of receipts. He's going to throw a potato back. There's, God, I can't believe I missed it. But earlier in this, Milhouse is doing, because this is all, shot documentary style, Milhouse talking to the camera, and they got him backlit so you can't see his face, and they got the voice modulator on his voice, and he's like, talking about everything that happened, and then eventually he's like, this voice scares me, turn it off, I need Puppy Goo Goo, or whatever that fucking dog's name is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And doesn't he pull the string on Puppy Goo Goo to get it to talk, and the bark is just this devil hound wolf?
Yep, because they turn the modulator on. Oh my God.
That was good.
He's just talking away. No, it's too scary. Turn the lights on. Turn this voice off.
Milhouse is 10.
Milhouse is a frightful boy.
It sure is.
So at the end of this all, Homer and Bart make up and they win the big game. But Tony, of course, is fucking mad because Bart was supposed to throw it and he didn't. And I did like the quick joke of Tony standing in the bleachers and he like reaches into his coat and Homer goes, oh my God, does he have a gun? And he pulls out his cell phone and like dials and goes, hello? Yeah, I need you to get me a gun. Like, that was a dumb, fun joke.
Yeah. We get a Johnny Tight Lips appearance. We haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, yeah. We get him talking to camera or not talking to camera, more like it. It's going to be tough for him to ever beat his very first appearance when it's just like, oh God, Johnny Tight Lips, who shot you? I ain't saying nothing.
That's good. Tough to beat. Yeah.
Oh my God. He really started the show with a showstopper on that one. But Lisa shows up and saves him from Fat Tony because she found some dirt on Fat Tony that he loves basketball so much because when he was a kid, he was the third string shooting guard for the Springfield Little Debbies, an all-girls team. And he was like
very good.
Horrible at basketball. So she found that dirt, and then they come to the agreement of like, okay, listen, like you forget about this, and I'll forgive Bart for not throwing the game like he was supposed to. And then we get a fun tag at the end where the narrator reveals that he is Nelson's dad.
I am of the opinion, we've now had Nelson's dad twice recently and once way back in the day. We need a canon version of who Nelson's dad is.
Agreed. Like it's starting to be ridiculous.
We've gotten 3 pretty much unique human beings so far. So it's like, no, we got to have a real one.
Yep, we need a canon Nelson's dad. I concur.
You think do we reach out to the Simpsons, or is that like a state congressman thing?
I mean, it never hurts to email your congressman. It always
true.
And it always gets stuff done. So,
holy fuck! Just sending a no subject line. Just we need a real Nelson's dad on the Simpsons.
How confused would your
some poor 19-year-old college kid would just be like, right to the trash with this?
Yep. I was about to say, how confused would your congressman be? But then I was like, they don't read this.
Yeah, that's an army of interns taking care of all that
interns,
shit.
Yeah. I ended up liking this one. I did like I said, so much of it is thematic that it's hard to like convey when we're talking about it. But like all of the like, and then tragedy struck in the freeze frame with the photo negative. Like Homer even makes some jokes about like visual effects at one point in this. Like, okay, squeeze in on Bart. Now rock focus on me. He makes jokes about how they shoot these documentaries. Like, so I liked the look of it. I like the general idea of it. I like their fake what's that fucking angry ESPN guy?
Oh, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, yeah. I like their version of him, who I think is called Anger Watkins, I think is the name of that analyst. Yeah. So all said and done, I liked this one, but it's not as good as my benchmark for these, which is the Behind the Music one from 18 seasons ago.
I didn't like it, but like you said, not as bad as Homeland or whatever that show was, whatever the one they aped for that one. That one did nothing. This one is slightly better, probably because I know the subject matter. So that makes a difference.
Yeah, to me, it's not anywhere near the worst of the, they're doing a blank episode.
Simpsonized version of Enter Popular Thing here.
Exactly.
Let's see how episode 18 fares. It's A Father's Watch. We get a very good couch gag. I really enjoyed. Took a couple pauses because we get a ton of the random ass animals that have appeared in The Simpsons over the years.
Yep.
Like
Stampy.
You get Stampy. You get the snake. I forgot so much about the python.
Oh, yep. There's like a Lassie. There's like a good
dog. The good dog. Yep. And then all of Santa's Little Helper's puppies.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Like there was so many then the gerbil and the wheel. I can't remember when that came into play, but there was a time there was a gerbil and the wheel they can kind of roll around in, like the plastic ball. I guess it's not a wheel, a ball. And then, of course, Porker, or whatever his name is. Plopper. Plopper's there.
Harry Plopper.
Yeah, well, that wide-eyed gaze of his, like, terrified of everything. So that was fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun idea. And they don't really do anything with it. It's kind of just, here's the couch, but all of the Simpson animals on it. So it was good.
An episode, we stick with animals. The episode begins with Bart clowning around in science class during frog dissection.
This opening had me dying.
Yeah. With the two frog, like their spirits in frog heaven looking down and
unfucking believable.
And one being skeptical of how it was going to turn out, and the old frog angel's like, no, it'll all turn out for the best. Like, you're doing a good thing here.
Oh my God.
It's when he takes the frog's intestines and puts it on the frog's head as if it's like Jamaican hair. He's like doing these big high kicks with his legs and singing some bastardized version of a reggae song. Like, so ridiculous.
And right before that, the frog that keeps like bright siding everything, because it's a dad frog and his son frog, and it's like, oh well, at least you're body went to science, it's a noble thing. And like, there's a couple of beats that are like, geez, that's not good. Because it's just Bart like stabbing this fucking dead frog.
Yeah.
When we get to that one that you were just talking about, he's like, well, at least I bet his his Rastafarian impression will be culturally sensitive, and it goes back down to Bart singing that fucking song with that dead frog. And every time they cut back up to the frogs, they are more and more just like, ooh, gee.
There's some gargantuan frogs that we're using for dissection. From toes to nose, that frog is a foot long.
Yeah, certainly better than any frog we had.
Yeah. What did you guys do? Did you do anything else besides frogs?
Worm, like a big earthworm.
I don't remember that, but I remember people saying that was a thing. We did a fetal pig too.
Okay, yeah, we didn't have the budget for a pig.
I don't think we were all given one. I think there was like one for the class, and the science teacher did it and we watched
all
or something
stood
like
around,
that.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's like, we had like a station in like one of the science rooms and like 4 of us got one pig or something.
Oh, okay. How's Fetal Pig not a band name?
Right?
A fucking heavy metal death grind band.
Probably out there and they suck.
Probably.
That's probably the simple, boring answer to that.
Yep, that is probably the real answer.
So yeah, Bart, we're getting some prime Bart here. And speaking of Bart, the episode kind of kicks in once he gets home because Bart's grades come in and surprise, they fucking suck. Bart's like, he has an incomplete on lunch, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yep, and everything's an F except for art and gym. He
gets D's. D and art. You got to be such a piece of shit. That just means you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, if you just keep to yourself and don't do a thing, she'll give you a C because she doesn't have to worry about you.
Marge's line, I can't hang this on the fridge. I can't even hang this on the garage fridge.
Yeah, that was very
so
good. And as Marge is often to do when she's struggling with her kids, she reads a parenting self-help book and she is so impressed. She sets it up. It happens immediately. That was kind of the gag. Like, oh, I wonder if someone who writes a self-help book would be interested in talking in front of people about how good they are. Next thing we see, they're all out, wherever they meet for like city council meetings.
It's like that's the town hall. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I don't know if we get this woman's name or if we do, it's pretty quick. But her whole thing is like kids need support. They need praise. Praise is the word she features a lot in her like mantras and stuff.
Yeah. Positive reinforcement.
Yeah. And there's no better way to make your kids feel good than giving them trophies. And boy, we're getting into the Simpsons being a bunch of old men, like, oh, these kids get too many trophies these days.
Yeah, as soon as this started, I was like, oh, the Simpsons are doing a participation trophy episode.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was open. I was like, okay, maybe they have something to say about it.
Yep.
That lady, by the way, played by Vanessa Bayer from SNL.
Okay. Yeah.
She was on SNL
now that you say that.
7 years.
Yeah. Lisa, as always the voice of reason, she points out that it's pointless to give kids trophies for anything they didn't accomplish, but all of this is lost on Homer because he's already in his I'm going to make $1 million off making trophies, which kind of a crafty idea, pretty shrewd for Homer.
I like that Lisa is against this. I thought that was a good bit of writing of like,
yep, because she has trophies. It's the one thing she can hang her hat on, that she has all these accomplishments. Like
Lisa,
she has no social shit. She just has that.
Yeah, I like that Lisa is anti-participation trophy because she has real trophies.
Yeah, it's like the only thing she has over Bart. Bart has more friends. He's more well-adjusted emotionally, like
I also like it's about this time that we do this joke a couple of times where Homer and his low self-esteem just shotguns a whole tube of cookie dough and can't get it down. He's like,
so gross.
If I tried to eat a whole tube of cookie dough, I would die.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm a motherfucker that likes him some cookie dough.
I like to how quickly this went from idea to Homer running a trophy factory out of his garage. Like him and Bart, that's a homespun. They're working their asses off, and I like how Bart's in on it. Like he's like part of like the manufacturing wing of it, and
yeah, he's in the back room putting them together.
And because we're getting some real A+, Bart's a shithead. He's terrible. He doesn't try. Everything's fucking up under him, you know. And that's when fucking Homer and Marge are having a talk. I think Homer sent Bart outside because you're just ruining everything. Get outside. And he eavesdrops, overhears Homer talking about how he's a screw up and there's nothing he can do or we can do to change that. He is who he is. And Bart actually gets sad. We get sad Bart. So we get the class. We've had this before where Bart is bummed about something. Like it's like, you know, you got to do something about your dog. You got to do something about this. Like just him walking, kicking a stone, all depressed. Like that's
sad Bart.
Like, yeah, sad Bart. We get some sad Bart, one word. And he stumbles upon
like bright Bart.
Yeah, sad Bart. He stumbles upon the old folks home just kind of by accident. He's just walking. Grandpa's originally mocking him from the patio, and then Jasper's like, "Wait a second, I think that's your grandson," and just. So the spineless piece of shit. Grandpa's like, just immediately, come here and visit me. Like he just so wants lonely. Companionship. Like after mocking him before he knew who he was.
From that front deck of the old folks home, like, look at the crybaby. Wham! Jesus. Making fun of a child.
Yeah. And it's baffling because in the next 90 seconds, we get some A+ grandparenting from Abe.
Yep, we do.
Bart explains everything, and he's like, well, he probably does that because I did that to him, and my father did that to me. And it's like, it goes back to like Abe's grandfather was like a turn-of-the-century professional child strangler.
Yep.
like entering competitions. Like,
yep, ran a fucking like child abuse symposium.
Yeah.
Like theater of the round, the Nick style. Like, Jesus.
So what we get from there, that's when he's like, well, that's so I just want you to know, like, you know, maybe you and Homer aren't hitting it off right now, but I'm going to give you something. You don't need a trophy. You need this. And it's this old hand-cranked pocket watch. It's very ornate, looks fancy. And he's like, I want you to, whenever you're not feeling down, you look at this and you know you got a grandpa out there that thinks you can do it. It's like, Jesus Christ. Abe Simpson, look at him. Didn't know he had it in him.
Did you catch the history of the pocket watch and where it comes from?
Oh, was it from like 1982?
It's unbelievable. He goes, he says something along the lines of, picked up by my great-great-grandfather at Gettysburg. Yeah. And then there's a beat in 1982. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so good.
That is that's immediately the other joke that fired in my head is in the early days of Danny DeVito's time on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when he used to always talk about Vietnam, but it turns out he went there for business in the late 90s, but he's always like, back in fucking Vietnam. It's like, you went there in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. It's the same joke, but different setting, and it's great.
1982 is like the right time to choose, too. Like,
yeah.
So cut to like kind of like second grade math contest, some kind of mathalon. I don't know what they have a name for it on a banner, but Lisa takes first place, and yet out of every kid gets a trophy, and Lisa's the smallest. Like fucking Ralphie's trophy is 1.5 the height of Ralphie. And Lisa's had it, you know, because again, this is Lisa's thing. Lisa wins things, and if everyone wins things, then her accomplishments are meaningless. So God, do I like this part of it, that Lisa is so. And when she freaks out at everybody else in the class, like, why is everyone else so big? You guys didn't win. You're off. And when Ralphie in the way back goes, she's loser shaming me, and starts to cry. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And then I don't even know what, like, precedes this, why it happened. But now all of a sudden there's a new self-help author of like a parenting self-help author that shows up. Do you know why he's there all of a sudden?
Yeah, Lisa did it. Like, she thinks of it right away. She's like, actually, I wonder if there's a different parent, because she's like, these fucking parents, they'll just follow any fucking parental advice author. I wonder if there's anyone who is on the other side of this. Yeah. And that's where you get this guy, the grit guy.
Yeah. He's kind of like you can't coddle your kids,
Yeah. Played by Rob Riggle, which is great casting.
Yep. Yeah.
I like Rob Riggle a lot. Yeah. I thought that his time at The Daily Show was like sorrowfully overlooked.
And one of those guys, his batting average, his appearances on shit are almost always good.
Yeah, he's amazing in The Goods, if you've ever seen that Jeremy Piven car selling movie.
Yeah, very good in that.
He's outstanding in that.
Yeah. God, that's a random movie. That's very funny.
That's one of those that people don't talk about. That movie rules, and no one talks about it.
Didn't go to theaters for some reason.
100%. I think I saw it in a theater.
Oh, did it really? See, I thought that was like they panicked, like they couldn't figure out, like, I don't know, some kind of like, they lost whatever the studio was going to air it or whatever. And then they just made it a big time direct to DVD. But I might be wrong if you saw it in the theater, but I thought that was
that was 20 fucking years ago. I could 100% be wrong. So.
There's a chance Bill Clinton was president when that movie was released.
That movie's great.
So he's there. He's telling these people, you can't give your kids trophies. So that means Homer's out of a gig. And like they turn on Homer because he's like in the city hall trying to sell trophies, which is pretty good.
Yeah, of course Springfield fucking turns on Homer immediately.
Homer's back in what used to be his fucking trophy factory, now just a garage full of useless trophies. And Bart walks in kind of flaunting. And Homer notices that Bart has Abe's watch, which is mission accomplished. That's what Bart wanted. He didn't want to say it. He just wanted him to notice it. And Homer clearly wants it. It's pretty good. He's just pining for it. But he can't act like he does because he knows that's what Bart wants. So it's eating him up, and Bart knows it's eating it up, and that makes it even more sweet. And then we get this montage of Bart just kicking ass in life. He's good in school. He's doing everything right, all thanks to this watch.
He's not being a shithead. He goes to be an asshole and then doesn't.
And the montage ends with him climbing some challenging mountain path, and it's him reaching the top of the mountain and giving like a jump in the air fists in celebration, and that's when the watch flies off a cliff.
Yeah.
And because I was kind of thinking, how is he going to lose this watch? Because that's exactly what has to happen.
Giving a 10-year-old an heirloom watch is a fucking horrible idea.
Dumb. Yep. You wait till that kid's 18 or fucking 25.
37 is what I was going to say.
You can panic in your late teens. You need beer money. You'll pawn a watch. From a great grandpa you never met. You'll get a watch. So now he's panicking. He has Milhouse try help him find it. All he ends up doing is fucking concussing Milhouse with a bunch of rocks.
Holy shit, that was so fucking funny though. Like, you just hear Milhouse down there. Okay, I'm gonna drop a rock and then that's about where the watch would be. So you look for it and drop, and of course it hits Milhouse. He drops like 8 others, and you just hear him keep getting hit. And the last thing you get before we cut to the next scene is Milhouse shouting up from the bottom, "They've somehow all hit me."
So good. So Bart is sad. He's going home and just knows that this is not good. And like clockwork, get it? His grandpa calls. Hey, a real wild card. Yeah. Grandpa calls Bart once he gets home. It's immediate. It's awesome. He walks in, the phone fucking rings for him. And Grandpa's been reached out to by some kind of nostalgia magazine because they're having their family heirloom issue. They want Abe and Bart on the cover, and my first comment is, does anyone eat coleslaw anymore? Because this is the kind of media that a picture like that would be in.
100%.
Who remembers when you could buy 3 hot dogs for $1? That was a time.
Remember when the dimmer switch was on the floor? Yeah, man, we all do. I don't know what you want from me.
Dimming our lights with our feet and eating coleslaw while we're driving without seatbelts. That's America.
That's what life was supposed to be about. Coleslaw nonetheless.
Yeah.
Fuck. Gotta get those t-shirts.
A trucker hat in the same font that they have like Korean War veteran. It just says coleslaw nonetheless with the gold scrambled eggs on the bill.
That's amazing. That's outstanding.
Proud veteran of the coleslaw wars.
Oh, God.
In this household, we still eat coleslaw. We still kneel before the cross.
We stand for the flag. We sit for the coleslaw.
Yeah.
Oh God. Whew, man. I was behind, if you can believe it, I was behind a fucking Dodge Ram Bighorn edition with dualies on that had a lot of bumper sticker thoughts about standing for the flag.
Yeah, get up for that flag. You stand on your tippy toes, you fucking pussy. Don't stand flat-footed.
Kneeling for the cross and all that. He had stuff to say via stickers on his pick-em-up truck. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Homer goes to bring all those useless trophies to the pawn shop, and I think the guy's like, you will owe me $10 to bring these to the... Yeah, what did fucking Homer think he was going to get? Like,
right.
Yeah.
For trophies that aren't real.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to get from Brian Posehn at this pawn shop? As soon as he spoke, I was like, Brian Posehn. I like when you show up in things.
3 different actors doing characters in this episode.
Yeah, I told jokes in front of Brian Posehn once.
You sure did.
Like on a stage, not just like...
Yeah, just not in his yard at night. You're going to love this one.
Hey, Brian. Brian, you asleep?
Yeah. Your face pressed against the window while he's taking a shit. Peekaboo.
From what I understand about that dude, he would really hate that. He sounds like he's a fella who likes to be left alone.
Yeah. So Homer, while they're at the punch up, notices, by God, there's Grandpa's watch sitting there just waiting to be purchased for $20. Which we find out was pawned by a disgruntled Milhouse, which is so good. Good for Milhouse.
Yep, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, good for him.
And of course, Homer happily buys it, but is going to go rub it in Bart's face. He's so excited about it, but as he walks up the stairs, it goes to Bart's door. He hears Bart crying, and he wants to be a shithead, but because Bart's really busted up. This is like the weird level of Bart crying. Like, he is really a wreck about this.
Yeah.
And he does the right thing. He gives the watch to Bart. He and Grandpa end up taking the pictures for the magazine. And it's like on the front porch of the retirement home, I think.
Yep.
And while all this is going on, Homer's explaining to Marge what happened. And Marge is really proud of Homer for not doing that. And while all that's going on, or for not rubbing it in, all that's going on, Bart accidentally breaks the fucking watch because he's a goddamn mess.
Yep.
And then it's Grandpa, fucking knocking the cobwebs off and giving Bart a strangle for old time's sake.
Awfully wholesome ending until the strangling, obviously. But like real sweet family ending.
Yep. And then we get one of the fucking useless addendums. And it's Ralphie being drafted into the NBA, which was just dumb. Didn't do anything for me. Wasn't funny. It's like, oh, he's got the tallest stack of trophies, so he'll get. It's like, I'm a millionaire. It's dumb. Why? The episode ended fine. So stupid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. There were some good. The highs were high, but some of them just got dumb at times, and it was a little too much. Like, get off my lawn,
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really liked the writing that Lisa is against participation trophies, but like, boy, so much of this was just like, you guys,
kids these days,
like, are you guys just are you just writing episodes based on what you saw on Twitter this week? Because I had a lot of the same thoughts on the next episode, but it was like, God, you guys just finding hot button, like, Simpsons doesn't need to be topical, gang.
Yep. Very good point.
Especially like opinion based topical shit. But maybe the only people watching this show in 2017 were people older than us who are mad at participation trophies.
Apparently, they're trying to do something, I guess. But
I guess
not a terrible. I like this episode more than the last one, but that's not saying a whole lot. But just because there were a few good pops of laughter in this.
100%. In the end, I did like this episode quite a bit. That fucking Milhouse getting rocks dropped on him, and all the Lisa shit. And there's a fantastic quick joke. I don't remember if it's at the first parenting conference or the second parenting conference, but during one of them, one of the parents stands up and shouts something, and then a different parent stands up and shouts something, and then Mo pops up and goes, and then Mo shouted a third thing because he wanted to be part of the group. And that's it.
So good.
That's so fucking funny.
I know we have 2 episodes to go in this batch of 5. I would put this batch up of 5. We've got the least Mo we've gotten in, like, this is we're not in the bar much at all in these 5. They're very family. It's Simpsons household based shit. A little bit of work shit because we're really heavy on the work in the second episode. But like,
it's we I don't know that we see the bar at all. Like, we for sure see it quickly when like Mo does a fucking 10-second thing for the 30 for 30 episode. Like he says some shit. I don't remember. But we don't go to the bar very much at all.
No, not a bit.
We need more Mo.
Yeah.
I was legit dying and then Mo stood up and said a third thing.
Just his excitement. He wants to be part of something so bad.
Not that many like childless main Simpsons characters to like do it, Yeah, outside of the Barflies, Lenny and Carl, Otto, sure.
Boy, we don't get much Otto. He's actually coming up here, but we don't get a lot of Otto.
We don't get much Otto because we're not in school that much anymore.
Good point. Yep.
Episode 19 is The Caper Chase. We start off playing power plant softball, and this is exactly what I think softball is. Yeah. Just doughy fellas drinking beer, and they happen to be playing softball.
I think nowadays, if you're playing any kind of organized, there ain't no beer allowed in the park. There ain't no beer on the diamond. Like, that's... The softball you know and love has changed.
Huh. I gotta ask a buddy about that. I got a buddy who's hardcore into softball. Like, he owns multiple bats and has different bats for different scenarios.
Ain't that something? Yeah.
He is super into softball.
The technology in softball is amazing. But yeah, I think a lot of it's, maybe you drink a few beers before, but I think some of them take it serious enough they don't want to even be half in the bag when they're going to play. And then you have a few beers either in the parking lot because it's late, no one's going to bust you, or you go to the bar that sponsors you.
That's crazy. To me, softball is like a sport you play while you're on the verge of shitting your pants.
They're all on the cream and the clear now. They're all fucking blocked up. They wish they could shit their pants.
Softball's changed the way wrestling has. Like, no one does cocaine anymore.
They're all healthy. Yeah.
Everyone eats too many vegetables now.
Yeah.
Everyone's a vegan and they're not going to die at 45 like all the rest of the wrestlers.
Their brains will be mush and they'll be in wheelchairs, but they'll still be, their hearts will continue to beat.
Yeah. I've never played softball. I've only watched softball. Well,
no shit.
Watched is pretty strong there.
I stepped onto the gladiator field for 2 seasons.
Outfield, you laying out for fucking fly balls?
Shortstop. You know my weird flexibility. The infield would make more sense than the outfield, like quick reflex. But
you could stretch at first base for sure. You could stretch
first
way
base,
off the bag.
First base would be if I had to play in the field, but usually I DH'd in softball. Or I'd catch, because that's the most thankless job. You're just standing back there, just watching it flop in, and you just pick it up, throw it back, I'm not catching anyone leading off first.
Right, yeah.
My rocket arm.
Your job could easily be done by a pretty good dog.
Yeah. I throw a baseball or a football like a kid from another country that's never played these sports. It's like, I don't get it. I played sports as a kid. God, I can't throw something. Like I think I maybe mentioned, my nephew saw me throw a football and he asked my brother, "What's wrong with Uncle Nathan?"
Oof, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to overhear.
That'll stick in your ribs for a while. Driving home. Nothing's wrong with me.
You still hear it late at night once every 3 months when you're trying to get to sleep.
Only one guy throws. The other 10 guys have other jobs to do.
Oh, God. It's Springfield versus some other power plant somewhere near New York, because these guys are all doing, "Hey, I'm walking here" jokes during all this. And I love that for this fucking beer league softball, we have this immaculate owner's box with Mr. Burns and the other owner. And the other.
Have we seen this guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm surprised. I was surprised it wasn't the Texas Oil Man.
Yep, very good point, yeah. My guess is they had to make him East Coasty.
Sure. Or we've seen a different power plant owner.
That's what made me think of that, yeah.
But it wasn't this guy.
Yep.
Because that was like the Shelbyville power plant or something. That might be from the baseball episode.
Yep. I absolutely think you're right, yeah. What a weird thing to come back to.
Yeah. We got another power plant softball league episode. Although it's not the whole episode. It's just kind of a starter here. But that opposing owner is talking about like, nobody wants to do nuclear anymore. I think I'm going to get into some of that solar power. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to sell it to the poor people. Jesus.
Yeah.
But not Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns is sticking with nuclear. He's nuclear to the core, baby. And he goes to see his alma mater, which is Yale. He goes to Yale kind of to, like, I thought at first this was going to be to, like, find a successor, but he wants to stuff some money into Yale to, like, amp up their nuclear research department or whatever.
Yeah. Like a new generation of people that are excited about nuclear energy.
Yes. Doesn't find that at all. Finds that Yale has changed for sure. Nobody wants nuclear power anymore, which I don't know that that's true.
Coming back to it.
Yeah. And this is where, again, much like the last episode, I was like, oh, you guys are just finding topics on Twitter, apparently, because this also feels like old men writing about how political correctness has run amok.
And I think too, with a lot of the writers, a lot of them are Ivy League guys that went to Harvard or Yale, so this probably really hits close to home to them,
right? Yeah, because like all of these jokes at Yale is just like, like I just groaned through all of them, because it's all like, oh well, we can't use the wrong pronouns, and we have to like if we do like establish a nuclear studies program, we have to run it past the pansexuals, and it's like fuck your whole mouth. Like, this is so fucking dumb.
There is a great line when like people are starting to gather and they're getting all worked up about it. And someone shouts, "You're worse than Hitler," and Burns goes, "Too late for flattery."
That's such a good joke.
Fucking A. And I laughed at that. Like, oh, it's because again, Burns is so tone deaf. That's what makes it good. But yeah, it's definitely like, it's funny though. I think this one didn't bug me as much as the last one, but it's certainly, this is what it is. Old get off my lawn kids these days. You know?
I think they both irritated me equally, and it was a fair amount.
Yeah.
But unlike that last one, it's not like the whole episode is about that. You know, it's just this bit here.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Burns goes to the Skull and Bones Society, and he's drinking fucking wine out of a skull, and the other guy is like, "Oh, do you want a little Santa Ana?" and goes to pass him a different skull with booze in it. And Burns is just like, "Oh, we got a diversity hire everything now."
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good joke.
Does he have Van Buren's skull?
Yeah,
is that what
he's got Martin Van Buren's skull.
That was pretty good.
Burns is going to start his own college. That's what this other guy has done, this other Yale alum, Skull and Bones member, whose name I didn't bother writing down, but he is played by Jason Alexander, that other guy.
Oh, good pull, yeah.
I didn't catch it in the episode, but
I
looked it up
didn't either.
after. Yeah. I think Verlander is that guy's name. Burns going to start his own college. Well, if I can't have a nuclear department at this college, I'll start my own. And he's especially into it once he learns that you can have for-profit colleges.
Yeah. He's very excited about this prospect.
Yeah. And the faculty is going to be the staff of the power plant. Like, I don't need to hire professors. I have a staff already. And fucking Lenny, when he's sitting in the goddamn break room and he's got that graduation cap on, he's like, "When do I get to throw it?" And Carl has to be like, "You're a professor, you don't throw it." He's like, "Oh, but I spent a lot of money to have this customized." And he takes it off, and the top of the cap says, "End apartheid now." And Carl goes, "Dude, apartheid is over." And Lenny goes, "It worked." It's so good. Such a good exchange between those two.
Lenny's very optimistic.
Yeah, he is. Lenny's got a lot of sunshine in him.
Yeah.
Except for like the one scene from fucking 20 seasons ago, the "don't tell other people how I live" scene in his apartment.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Back at the Simpson house, we're kind of celebrating that Homer's going to be a professor, and Lisa hates this.
Yeah,
Lisa's like, "You can't be a professor. What is going on?" And she swipes Marge's wine glass and slams it and is immediately shithoused, of course.
Yeah, drunk Lisa was pretty great.
Yeah, it was a little weird. It was a little weird to see, but...
Well, you remember back in the day, every other episode should be tripping balls.
I was just about to say, we know that Lisa has substance abuse problems. She can't control herself. I just love how rattled she is by this. Like, Homer's going to be a college professor, and she can't handle that. Homer, of course, in over his head. He can't teach. He tries, but he can't teach anybody anything. I like that the only one in the class who calls him on that is Cookie Kwan. Cookie Kwan is here to learn, and she doesn't have time for this horse shit.
The rogues gallery in that classroom is pretty great. It's a real cross section of Springfield.
Yeah, comic book guy is there. Like, yeah, it's a good...
Otto's there.
Yep, yeah. Otto. It's like everyone who's not like Dr. Hibbert or Reverend Lovejoy. Like everyone who's not the upper crust.
Gil is there.
Oh, yes, Gil.
We get a great Gil line coming up.
I don't think I wrote it down, so stop me when we get there.
Well, let's let's just go over it right now. I can't. They're talking about radiators, and he mentions being able to take a shower with your car's radiator. And then you take a floor mat and towel off, and you feel like a king. Watching someone dry themselves with a floor mat fully nude in like a Walmart parking lot would be the most heartbreaking thing. And he's just feeling like $1 million.
Oh my God, Gil.
So God, Gil's good.
Yeah. I think Gil they continue to use at exactly the right amount. Like I have never thought we need more Gil or I wish we got less Gil. Like we get the perfect amount of Gil all the time.
Yeah, we haven't got Gil neglect like we've gotten Barney neglect.
Right. And we've never gotten Gil saturation.
Yep. Yep. Good point. Yeah.
Homer, in over his head, not a good teacher. He can't do this. So Lisa is going to help him out. And she's like, listen, you can't like read all the books you need to read. So here, and gives him a DVD box set of teacher movies like Dead Poet Society and Stand and Deliver and fucking Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah. Him taking notes on it.
Yeah. Inspirational teacher movies is a whole genre.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Dangerous Minds.
Yep, that one. Would you call Good Will Hunting? Like there's a teacher in it, but it's not really about the teacher.
I think you're close. It's good teacher adjacent. Hilary Swank has made one in the last dozen years that wasn't a hit.
Okay.
Kind of like when she was the face on the movie poster after
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, and she did one where she went into an underprivileged neighborhood and that kind of thing,
that was a whole.
We've had a few of them.
That was a whole genre. I don't know that I've ever seen any of them. Maybe Dangerous Minds. I bet I've seen Dangerous Minds.
I don't know if I've seen Dead Poet Society. Been a long time, but I've seen it.
Is it as good as it people make it out to be? Because I've never seen it.
No, it's perfectly fine. But
good Robin Williams performance anyway.
Good Robin. And it's more. I mean, he's funny, but it's a drama, but it's good. Huh. It feels like we're missing a real big swinger of a reaching the kids type movie. I just can't think of what it is.
Yeah, I think
it's Lean on Me, but that might be Morgan Freeman. And he might be a principal turning around a shitty school, so technically not a teacher.
I was like, no, that's the one with Will Wheaton when he's a kid, and nope, that's Stand By Me.
Yeah, they came out close. Those movies could have been beside each other in a Blockbuster Video in 1989.
How many people saw the wrong one by accident? When does Morgan Freeman show up? What's with this dead body?
Yeah, right. I want Kiefer Sutherland.
Burns sees that Homer is doing great, and so does this other guy, this Verlander guy, because Homer, of course, sees these movies and then is just giving empty platitudes that he saw in these movies, not teaching anybody anything.
Yep.
But Burns thinks that he's doing great, and so does Verlander, and Verlander buys Homer's teaching contract from Mr. Burns.
And all the schools, too, I think. It's a big combo deal.
Yeah, buys the school and Homer. And wants to use Homer at his private estate is really all you know. We get a secretive helicopter ride out to this island.
It's completely ex machina, has to be. Well, we find out it's absolutely what they're going for.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never seen that.
Oh, okay. Yep. There's a movie they're aping here with the design of the house and having it being secluded in the woods and stuff.
And the robots, right?
This exact same. Yeah. The robots are women and with that same design. Yeah.
Is that movie good?
Yeah, very. It's interesting. It ain't fuck yeah, crush some fucking Four Locos and eat a bunch of popcorn, but it's fucking fun. It's It's not like fucking, I don't know, like Speed, like it's not a popcorn movie, but like.
Oh man, I love Speed. Speed's a good fucking movie.
It's been a pretty good fucking movie.
Speaking of Keanu Reeves, god damn it, I'm watching all these horror movies. I finally watched Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I've never seen it.
And all I had ever heard was, boy, that thing is weird. And it is. It is very weird. And it fucking whips ass. That movie rules.
No shit.
Oh my God, that movie's great.
Is it overly long? It just strikes me as a movie that would be.
No, I think it clocks in around the 2 mark. It's not overly long.
Not short, but not fucking Marvel movie length.
Yeah, it's not a fucking 90-minute flick or anything like that. But God damn it, is that movie good. And looks amazing. Like
it's wild.
That movie came out in like 92. It looks like it was filmed for 1964. Like
that had to be Francis Ford Coppola. I demand to do this movie because that was the low point in horror movies being profitable in America.
Yeah.
To get a big budget Dracula movie, like he had to have like every favor he had coming in Hollywood, he called it in for that.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is fucking great. Anthony Hopkins is outstanding, just chewing every ounce of scenery.
How about Keanu?
Keanu is there.
He tries his best.
Keanu is like my least favorite thing about the movie because he looks like 1992 Keanu. You can't do much with him. But they didn't even change his hair. He looks like he's a time traveler from 1992 who's in this movie that takes place in like the 1600s or 1800s. And fucking Winona Ryder rules. Like it looks outstanding. That movie is great. I loved it.
I will have to check it out.
It is a shockingly horny film. Holy fuck.
I think I maybe remember hearing that it was a lot of sexy times.
Like I was like, after about the 5th sex scene, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys, did I rent This Ain't Dracula XXX? Like, what the fuck? Which, whatever, I'm not some fucking prude. I was just surprised is all.
You rented Ram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, shit.
The menu of this DVD is very subpar. Did it even have saxophones in this time?
Oh, shit. The set dressing is awful. I think I've seen that leather couch. Where's that? Why do I know that black leather couch from? And in a very pleasant surprise, you know who else is in that fucking movie? Is Billy starts with a C. Is it
Crudup?
No.
Oh, he's too young.
Is Billy Carpenter? The guy who played the Rocketeer is in that.
Oh fuck, that's a drop.
and that guy like is one of those actors who like seems on paper like he has it all. Like if you look at his headshot, you're like, this guy's gonna be the biggest shit since ever. You know, handsome brown-haired man. Like, and then
I think
went on to do next to nothing.
I think Disney really thought the Rocketeer was going to be just their next big, like title that will never be forgotten. And it got forgotten.
It was very forgotten. I like the Rocketeer. I don't love it, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly the right age for it, I bet. Because I think that came out in like 90. So if, you were like a grade school kid then, fuck yeah, Rocketeer.
I could have seen myself with some Rocketeer pencils or something.
You showing up on fucking Halloween school party with a plaster of Paris Rocketeer helmet on where the eye holes aren't lined up right. You're fucking running into shit. I'm popping away.
I'm so into it that I go as Timothy Dalton's character, but like that's just a man in a suit with a pencil mustache. No one gets it.
You think being fucking the Rocketeer is a hack? You assume 6 other kids is going to be the Rocketeer. Wait, they're all hunters? Or cowboys?
I don't want to be the seventh Rocketeer there. I'm going to go as Timothy Dalton's character.
You explaining that to your teacher, and she's trying to be on your side, but she's so confused.
No one else is the Rocketeer because no one else saw it.
Timothy Dalton, wasn't he James Bond? That's beside the point, Mrs. Gunderson.
He was only in 2 Bond films.
There's going to be like 6 Rocketeer movies.
Just you wait. So Jesus, Homer meets up with a bunch of other people at this Verlander's island, where he's going to, they're kind of waiting for their assignments. We get Neil deGrasse Tyson here. I was like, this seems like about the time Neil deGrasse Tyson would be like at his peak fame.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Ken Jennings.
Yep, Ken Jennings of Jeopardy, and then a couple people I didn't recognize but had to look up. One is Susie
Robert
Orman.
McGee.
Yeah,
yep.
And the other is Susie Orman. I don't know Robert McGee. My thought was I wish they'd have got a more famous director for me to latch on to.
See, I don't think he even ever directed. I think he's just known for writing books about screenwriting. He wrote a book called Story that's like 700 pages long. It's like this fucking doorstop of a book to explain how stories work at their most base level.
Okay.
Good read, good toilet book. Just a page turner.
I'm not one to read on the toilet. Fucking get in there, get her done, and get out of there.
Oh man, I could waste an afternoon in the shitter if I got the right setup.
Oh, it's bad for your butthole. You're gonna get the fucking roids, my guy.
Yeah, man, my boy, that fucker's taking a lick and it still keeps on ticking.
You're gonna get the pain grapes up around your rim hole.
I think I eat enough poison that it's just a dead zone up there. It's all alkali around the asshole right now.
Your asshole's just elbow skin.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's when I fart, it sounds like I snap my fingers. We had a slam poetry event. Nathan got into the dried apricots again.
Sounds like he keeps cracking his knuckles.
Oh God!
Like a good
Yeah. Ooh. Pardon me.
Ooh. We're gonna want to open a window here in a minute.
Yeah.
So all of these people and Homer, they get there and they kind of get their assignment, which is Verlander wants them to teach these androids. They're kind of blank slate androids, and this is apparently Ex Machina, which I've never seen. And they go to it and they teach them, and then we get Verlander's kind of, I feel like just out of nowhere, he just explains what his evil plan is, which is he teaches all of these androids to be human enough to where they can get Sally Mae Foundation student loans, which just get funneled to him. So that's how he's going to funnel taxpayer money into his own pocket.
It's kind of crafty.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Yeah.
It's amusing because of how fucking elaborate it is. Like, he developed and built androids
that can pass as humans so they can take out student loans.
Yeah, tell you what, billionaires can get your hands on tax money without any of this. But okay. And then we're at Yale, and Homer is like, "Oh, this is horrible. I gotta fucking do something about this." And we go back to this horse shit. Homer puts on a fucking robot head and like beep boop pretends to be a robot, and one of the androids freaks out about he's in bot face, and that is so offensive, and they all explode because they're so offended by this. I was like, fuck you. And then that's it. They Homer saved the day, and then I did like this, that McKee on the way out, they do a little tag. I forget what the tag even is, but this fucking, that McKee, the story writing guy, pops in and is just like, these are so pointless. The story is over. I've been telling you, why do we do these pointless tags? And
just a hard cut.
Yep, and then it just hard cuts to the credits, and I practically came out of my seat. I was like, fuck yes, you guys.
Yeah.
But
I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio gif of like pointing at the screen while holding a beer.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
Been saying that.
Yeah. The problem with that, though, is that means that they know and do it anyway. And that's a bummer.
Yeah. There was a nice touch, I thought, when Homer arrives at the house in the woods, and it has a voice scan, and he's like, Homer Simpson, and then it's like voice not. It's something about like 1989 file voice not recognized, and then he does like a perfect, because it's like, let's go out for frosty chocolate milkshakes.
Yeah,
and then it just immediately the door's open, like, which is a rando line. I don't even know if it's from The Simpsons or like one of the old like Tracy Ullman shorts or something. Like,
yeah, it's either from the very first season or from Tracy Ullman.
Yeah,
but like that is a line, and
the old Walter Matthau ripoff voice.
Yep, I thought that was fun. That was that quick little joke.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
All in all, for as gun shy as I was when we were doing the Yale shit, I was like, yeah, this turned out to be a perfectly fine episode.
Just like the other one, there's a couple big pop laughs. That's like, okay. We don't get as many of those, so I really like it when we get them.
Yeah. Yep. Totally fine.
Well, let's see how the last episode of The Batch treats us. Episode number 20, Looking for Mr. Goodbart, which this is not the first Looking for Mr. Goodbar reference we've gotten in a title.
Yeah, I'd believe that. Yeah. I immediately was like, oh, another, what is it, Waiting for Guffman reference. I was like, nope, that's something totally different.
Yeah, it's a late 70s movie that has Tom Berenger in it, and that's where the end of my knowledge is on it. Perhaps based off a book, too. I feel like there's a book with that title.
What came first, the candy or the movie? Gotta be the candy.
Or no, the candy, yeah. The movie is not the kind of movie you would want Candy to be based on, I think. I think it might be like, he might be a bad guy or something like that. Okay. It might be like a thriller, like.
Where do you stand on a Mr. Goodbar? You fucking up a Mr. Goodbar?
Yeah, I'd rather have a Hershey's with almonds, but I'll fuck a Mr. Goodbar. Because basically Mr. Goodbar's Hershey's with peanuts.
Salted peanuts is the thing. Oh. Salted peanuts. That's what makes a Mr. Goodbar different from just, chocolate and peanuts.
What's another thing that's just chocolate and peanuts?
Outside of chocolate-covered peanuts, that might be it.
That might be the only bar farm. Okay. Yeah.
But Mr. Goodbar, it's salted peanuts, and that's what makes it a thing.
And Crackle is just like Rice Krispie bits, something like that?
Yeah. Or Crunch. Crackle also, yes. But Crunches are flat, and Crackles are bars, right? Or is Crackle a flat bar?
Crackle's a flat bar, like almost like a Hershey bar, I think.
Right, like a Mr. Goodbar.
Yep. Yeah,
because Crunch is also that.
Would you buy a full Mr. Goodbar? Can you snap it into little ones?
Yes.
Or no?
Yep, it's like a Hershey's that way.
Yeah, I thought so.
They're little rectangles, yep.
Yeah.
I fucking love a Mr. Goodbar.
I'm a mark for Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah, I can't just eat Hershey's chocolate.
I will ruin a week eating a 55-gallon drum of Hershey's Kisses. Jesus, just give me a Super Nintendo with like 10 awesome games, a fountain Coke machine. I will gain 75 pounds. Like, there might only be 50 pounds of food, but I'll gain 75 through force of will.
Listen, I'm not going to fucking push it into the garbage, but I need something a little more than just a piece of chocolate.
Oh, I'm a decadent little boy. Piece of chocolate, delish. Doesn't have no goo on the inside. It's an easy eat. You can put it in your mouth, let the heat melt it. Oh, delicious.
I want stuff. In my chocolate.
Yeah. Fucking, you want nougat, you want your caramel, you want your fucking menthol. I don't know what you're looking for anymore.
Let me tell you, the past, I'm going to say 10 days have ruined my fucking life, Nathan, because I was motivated. I was fucking Johnny get shit done. I was like, look at me planning ahead. I'm fucking really being a goddamn adult. And I bought 2 bags of Halloween candy because I always like have like a pumpkin bucket, and I move one of the bar stools from the kitchen counter out into the hallway and just put up a sign, happy Halloween, have some candy, you know, because nobody comes knocks on apartment doors, but people are up and down the hall all the time. So fucking put out some candy for people. I get into the spirit. So I was planning the fuck ahead and bought 2 bags of Halloween candy. And brother, I have a depressingly low amount of Halloween candy left, and Halloween ain't for a fucking week.
It's like 6 Smarties and a loose Good and Plenty.
Oh no, I bought Halloween candy that I would want to eat, which is a mistake, it turns out.
Get the Good and Plenties.
God damn it, I should get nothing but fucking Whoppers and Smarties.
Yeah. For a chocolate-based treat, a thing of Whoppers would last a long time in my house. I don't get too excited.
Yeah. No, I bought bags. The bags I bought are just mini Kit Kats and mini Reese's Peanut Butter Pumpkins.
Okay. That's oof.
That's
You're asking for it there.
That's all that's in those bags. And I've eaten, I bet I have single digits amounts of candy left in that bucket.
You gonna get honest with the good listeners here at America's Barley Basket? Have one of those bags made it into bed with you? Have you woke up?
No. They haven't gotten into bed with me. But
just wake up, ruined a bedspread covered in chocolate. Holy, if you fell asleep on a Reese's pumpkin, you'd have to move. Sleep in the living room at least. That involves calling a contractor.
A new mattress.
Ruin the frame.
I need a friend that can keep a secret to wash my back.
Over here in the this guy shit all over his bed. It's chocolate. Yeah, he's saying chocolate, but I know a shit bed if I've seen one. Christ, a leak through the box spring. I swear to God, it's mini pumpkins. I don't care.
It's in the floor. We got to replace all this carpet.
I don't care what your online screen name is, mini pumpkins. This is a shit bed.
Oh fuck. You ruined everything under that bed. We gotta pull this carpet up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, don't be ultra motivated and have your shit together if you can't keep your fat fucking hands out of the pumpkin bucket. God damn it.
You need a storage locker that's like 25 miles away, so you have a cool down period.
That's the mistake, is I filled the bucket and then left the bucket where I could see it. And I've never grabbed the whole bucket and taken it to the living room or anything like that. But
a pinch it.
It's
every time you walk by, you take a pinch. I've been there before.
Exactly. It's sitting in the kitchen, and every time I walk anywhere near the kitchen, better get a piece of candy. Better get a piece of candy. 2 fucking bags, you fucking fat loaf. What is the matter with you?
And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I haven't ate real sugar since late June, but I'm already got designs on fucking up a tin of fudge this holiday season.
That boy.
I am gonna shit. My body is gonna so violent react because I still eat fake chemical sugar. Bet your ass I do. That pure poison that they're making at DuPont. So when pure cane sugar hits my digestive tract, it's gonna be like going from E85 to premium.
That's too high a octane.
Right away it burns clean like natural gas, but it turns to diesel quick. Can't see in the living room. Because we got to go to Aunt Polly's for Christmas.
Ruin Aunt Polly's poor bathroom.
In-laws that don't know me assume Nathan is a dog. Nathan got into the fudge and he made a real mistake in the living room.
I gave you too much credit thinking it might happen in the bathroom.
Yeah. I didn't want to miss the end of the basketball game. Having a blowout on the couch, just relaxing.
not even a change in your facial expression.
Yeah.
You just gently diarrhea your aunt's couch.
And then a blowout and some flimsy basketball shorts just blows the seam right out of it. Motherfucker wasn't wearing any underwear on Christmas. Jesus Christ. I forgot to pack them. Mom usually buys me some. Oh, my God. Standing in a t-shirt, nothing else, legs covered in shit, debating this with one of my uncles. Get in the tub.
Got it halfway up your back. How'd you imagine that? Oh, fuck.
Saws all the couch to get it out the front door. Well, you're gonna ruin it that way. What do you fucking think it's gonna be salvaged?
Oh, God. Sound like
And during all this, I went back to the fudge. Just nibbling a piece.
Nathan, God damn it. You got any other furniture you want to fuck up?
Me and the half-tea laying in a snowbank eating fudge.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays if you want.
It smells like a paper mill out here.
Oh, weird. we were just enjoying some basketball, and all of a sudden it sounded like somebody set off a fucking Korean War era mortar shell on that end of the couch. Just thunk.
Yeah, like a depth charge. Like, right away, what was that? Oh, must have been nothing. And all of a sudden, the explosion.
Anybody else hear deep ice cracking?
Oh. You know, they used to have a nativity scene out front, but now they just got their middle-aged son and a half-tea shit diarrhea.
Poor boy shat himself inside out like a sick bird.
Yeah. He'll be learned after this.
No, he won't. He's still eating fudge.
He's grasping the fudge dish. One more morsel couldn't hurt.
Your dad keeps pulling the dish away from you.
Neighbors' cattle are all confused.
Oh, fuck.
So Bart gets in trouble for disrupting a music program.
Oh, fuck.
They had all the old people. Everyone bought their grandparents. It was kind of like a grandparent appreciation thing, and
not a real thing. Grandparents' Day at school isn't real.
Not a real thing.
Oh, fuck. But not to backtrack too far, but we got a Big Bang Theory couch gag.
Yeah, you're right. I did jump past that. Yep.
And I thought
starts with
I thought like maybe
old school video.
Yeah, it's like the video. I think it's from the first. One of the first episodes of Marge putting Maggie down and singing that fucking nursery rhyme and it giving Maggie nightmares because nursery rhymes are terrifying.
I would almost think that that's from the Tracy Ullman show.
Could be, yeah.
I think, yeah. It just had that feel. And
then it does like and I feel like we've done it not too long before. They show like a frame from every episode. And I was like, is this like an anniversary thing?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No. And you're right. They did that for the 600th episode not that long ago.
Yeah. I thought it was very strange, but they play the Big Bang Theory song, which fuck that
It's
show.
fun, yeah. the clips and the lyrics. The lyrics are about the Simpsons, like
it's just
evolution of the show.
Yeah, it's just to the tune of that.
I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah,
and it didn't
cool.
run on.
Yeah,
it was nice and quick, that's what I like about a couch gag. Unless it's a banger, then go as long as you want.
I like a real long, elaborate one.
So Bart is in trouble again for disrupting this musical thing for all the grandparents and in Skinner's office. And he's going to try to think of a punishment. Bart's just sitting back. He's like, you only really got 2 things. You ain't got much you can do to me. And that's when his mom, Mrs. Skinner, comes in and she's busting balls as always. And that's when he's like, oh, you know what you can do? You can walk my mother to the bus stop. That's your punishment. And that's what we see. There's them leaving, and then eventually we get them walking through the school before they've left to go to the bus stop. We get Martin and his grandmother, which was part of the fun of this was seeing all the old people and matching them with their kid.
Yeah, and I love that Bart and Agnes just bully the shit out of Martin and Martin's grandma.
Yeah, not very nice. It's like, because he's like, well, how come you? Because he offers a jacket to Mrs. Skinner, and that now Martin's grandma's all worked up. It's like, well, I'm cold too. Like, Martin, why don't you give me your outer shirt? He's like, because I'm feeling nipply. poor Martin.
I know that feeling, though, of like, nope, this sweater stays on all day today. This outfit only works if I don't take this outer layer off. After
this
that,
undershirt
it all falls apart.
is an undershirt for a reason.
Yeah.
It has been demoted.
There's another Scrub. Boy, not to bring up Scrubs again, but there's a Scrubs episode that addresses that same thing of like, listen, this outfit is perfect, but if I remove the jacket, the shirt underneath it is horrible, and the shirt underneath that is even fucking worse. Like, I have to keep this whole thing together.
It's all together or I gotta go home.
Yeah.
And while they finally get to the bus stop, and Mrs. Skinner's kind of like, I really enjoyed this. I've always wanted a grandson that I could spoil. And that's when the seed is planted. Bart's like, wait a second, like what could this lead to? And meanwhile, Lenny and Carl introduce Homer to Pokemon Go because they're playing in the nuclear power plant.
Yep.
And it's just funny how it's like, wait, we're up to that point, but we totally are. This is...
Yeah, Pokemon Go was longer ago than I think it was.
Yeah,
like to me, people are still playing, and I'm sure people are. But
do you think you can download it and just play? I'm sure you can.
100%.
It's probably still an active thing.
Absolutely.
Interesting. And yeah, I mean, that was a phenomenon. They're like, something's big when people that would never play games were doing it.
Yep, exactly. I know people who played Pokemon Go who like actively looked down on people who played video games, like
really,
like, and they're out in the park fucking hunting for fucking Charizards. It's like, fuck you nerds.
I feel like you and I have a mutual Facebook friend who met their spouse playing Pokemon Go, like one of those rando Fargo people that everyone's Facebook friends with.
Sure.
No one seems to know, but I just can't put a name to it. But I know someone got married in town because of Pokemon Go, which fucking good.
Good.
Hope you're happy. Yep.
100%.
It gets people walking. Who am I going to judge someone that's walking?
Right. Like I played it a little. I never got deep enough into it, but like I would do what you're not supposed to, which is play while you're driving. But it's like, it was like, I've never been a Pokemon kid. I didn't watch the cartoon or play the card game, but I immediately was like, yep, I totally understand this. I get why this is what it's
I always feel if I was 10 years younger, I would have been a Pokemon kid. If that would have been like, that seems like something 9-year-old me would have really enjoyed. Like,
yeah. And like, I'm the right age for it. It just never got a hold of me. No exposure, I suppose. No one was fucking playing collectible card games.
Really? In the tipped over wagon you went to school in? There was no one playing Magic the Gathering.
No, we didn't have any fucking hot Yu-Gi-Oh action going on.
But I tell you where fucking Pokemon Go catches on is goddamn Springfield, because it ain't just Homer. The whole damn town is getting into it. We get a good gig because in the middle of the church sermon, it's like comic book guy and someone else are just wandering around up by the altar fucking looking for Pokemons.
Yep.
And so, like, how close do you have to be, like, to get it to activate? Or does it show up a ways away and you just have to walk towards it and then you get close enough and you can try to win it?
Yeah, you've got like a world map, but it's the real world map, you know? So shows you the surrounding area. You can be, I'm going to say, from what I remember from the week I played, you can be within 20 feet, you know? You ain't got to be right on it or anything.
Okay, that kind of, from what I can tell from friends, that seems about right too.
Yeah, I know people who like fucking sunk money into that thing. Like, Jesus. I'm old because I'm such a tight ass. When I first heard about how popular and fun it was, I was just skeptical. Like, if you like it too much, they got to be able to get some money out of you. But I think a lot of people had fun just playing it for free. Yeah, that's what I always heard too. I think it's one of those where, like, the wall that you hit where it becomes like, oh, the amount of time I would have to invest in this to keep progressing is so obscene that I'll just give you money instead. It sounds like that wall is so far down the ramp from where you start that it's acceptable.
Interesting. Okay. So Lisa's into it, but Homer's really into it, and we get a good gag of Homer while not paying attention to his surroundings. He gets sprayed by a skunk. Cut to him in a little kid wading pool having to take a tomato juice bath. I wonder if the Mythbusters guys have ever talked about skunk spraying and tomato juice.
I bet they have. That seems like such a fucking obvious one.
I feel like that's been debunked, but I can't say for sure.
Well, I think isn't the theory, it's not that it takes away the skunk smell, it's that it covers it up. Isn't that the logic behind it?
But why tomato juice? It just seems so weird.
Something about tomato juice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, as a kid, that's what you always heard. You get sprayed by skunk, I have to give you a bath of tomato juice.
Yep, that's what I always heard. I've never been sprayed by a skunk or been around anybody who had, so...
God, yeah. I mean, dogs, but they don't count. They're fucking with anything that comes near them and paying the price.
Yeah, like, your dog gets sprayed by a skunk, who cares? The dog's gonna go jump in the creek and be fine, like, whatever.
Only thing I've ever seen in my life rabid was a skunk. Me and my cousins watched a goofed up skunk and it took off after us. It was so fucked up it couldn't run full speed. I mean, on a bike you could beat a skunk regardless, but like watching it stumble and bumble down like a gravel road and then it just keep coming out. Well, that skunk's messed up. And then it's like,
that skunk is messed up. It's a fun
That's country
phrase.
living there.
Yeah.
That skunk's messed up.
It's my favorite Hank 3 song.
Yeah. This is an example of where the two stories that are going on are very separate till the end.
Extremely, yep.
Because we have this Homer, Lisa, the rest of the town, and then Bart doing his own thing. Like, this is weird because I can't be from this movie, but probably like 8 years ago, there was a independent Woody Harrelson joint, I think called The Walker, where he is a very fancy, dignified, kind of effeminate Southern man who takes rich old Southern ladies out to brunch. Exactly, but that's what makes me think it's so much like this.
That's
like
a
he's
deep
charming,
fucking cut, though.
Right? If it is, that's fucking tip of the hat if it is. But I know what's his name made a Gigolo movie like in the late 70s, early 80s. Richard Gere. That could be, maybe it's based on that too. But Bart is doing this and he's fucking killing it. Like, he is not slipping up he is fucking squeezing every bit of money out of this. Like, he has him giving him Christmas presents, birthday presents, like, well, you like ordering things out of the catalog. Hey, I ordered all the toys so you get free shipping, and the lady's happy about it.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Oh, that's so thoughtful. Like, that's a good joke.
Yeah, we get a lot of gags on him fucking just racking shit up.
By just being a good grandson is all these women want.
And pretty charming too, you know. He knows how to play them pretty good, you know.
It's kind of adorable.
Has his hair parted all nice.
Yeah.
That's when you know Bart's being fancy.
His suit with shorts.
Yeah, that has been the iconic Bart's dressing up for church look. And I like too, like it all, like that woman sees through it so quick. Like I think her name's Phoebe. She's I know this grift, and he's like, what? Like he thought it was like perfect, and she's like, okay, I see what you're doing, but I'll tell you what, you come here, I'll give you $100. All you got to do is get me out the door 4 times a week, and that's okay, fair enough, and that's where that begins. So he just does that. He takes her out. He's like, okay, you got me through. Go do your own thing. And she's like, what? It's like, yeah. This is like a facility where you have to have a loved one sign you out, and you're my pretend loved one. And he won't let her, she's a nature photographer, we find out. And he won't let her go in the woods because the bullies are there. And we get this insane scene of the bullies alone with rice. And one of them brings the wrong rice, and they get in a fist fight over dried rice. And then they're just all eating dried rice at the end. That's like a throwback to like mid-90s insanity.
Yeah. It's fucking Jimbo sitting there, and Dolph and Kearney come up, and Jimbo's like, oh, did you bring the ouzo? Which is a booze. Ouzo's an alcohol. And he's like, oh, yeah, here it is. And he throws him a bag of orzo, which is which is rice, which is a strain of rice.
That's the goof up. Okay.
And it's like, this is orzo. This is thick brown rice. And Kearney goes, you're thick brown rice. And they fight.
They're throwing haymakers. Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're just sitting around as pals eating handfuls of dry orzo. Oh.
So good.
Holy shit.
So good.
Orzo's good, but it is heavy and brown.
Yeah.
They're not wrong. But you brought rice instead of booze is pretty funny.
That's a good gag, yeah.
Ouzo's one of those, I've never had it, but ouzo's one of those like kind of hoity-toity liqueurs that taste like black licorice.
Why do they all lean towards black licorice? God, there's a lot of that.
It's the anise, the star anise that they all use, or fennel. It's one of the like extremely old timey drinks when we only had 4 spices that were available to us. Yeah.
You had to fight wars to get spices.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Bart goes to it's time again to pick up Phoebe, but the front desk attendant's like, well, she said you were here, so she's already gone. And he's like, what? And he goes out running because she had like planted hints, and we see in flashbacks like that she might have been like depressed and she might have had plans. And then we get like a flashback like, I think I might be offing myself or something like that. Like a real not, like a very on the nose, like I'm not hiding this at all.
So insane.
Yeah. And, she had given him her camera, too, which is like, well, why would she do that if she loves photography? And Bart panics, and he enlists the help of Lisa and Homer, who have kind of realized they've went overboard with their Pokemon because they've spent over $600 on it. And they're like, we can actually put our skills to good use. And they, in turn, enlist all of the nerds. So they get all of, not even mostly nerds, but just the people that are really hardcore Pokemon gamers. And they're all, and the Pokemoners, they need like, well, what's its name? It's like, I can't think of the name that Bart gives her. How many points is it worth? Like, I don't know, 1 million. And like, they're all excited about this, even though he's clearly just saying anything.
Yeah, which is dumb, but whatever.
Yeah. And then it's them wandering through the woods. We get like a Pokemon type cartoon montage.
Didn't do much for me, It's just like, what if the Simpsons did a quick anime music number?
Yeah, and it's Homer's fat.
It's like, okay.
So, yeah. I mean, but it didn't drag on, if you can give it anything. They got through pretty quick. And they're, again, wandering through the forests. And then I think it's Database that stumbles upon Phoebe. Does that sound right?
No, it's Squeaky Voice Teen.
Is it? Oh, you're right. Yep, because he's all excited about it. Like, and then they go over there, and she's lying like a corpse in the brush.
That was fucking like that first camera shot where you just see like knee down sticking out of the grass. I was like, Jesus, the Simpsons.
She really is dead. How are they going to not make this traumatic? And then she's lying there, and then she just opens her eyes. She's like, well, hello. And then it's just like, like I had been having some dark thoughts. You're right. But, I came out here and into nature and I realized there's just so much to live for. And her Phoebe and Bart have a nice moment. And she is like, I am going to need my camera back. And Bart's like, okay with that because she's okay. And fucking all is well that ends well.
Yeah. And Bart's like, can we hang out still sometimes? Yeah. So,
yeah,
pretty wholesome.
Who did that voice?
It's someone I didn't recognize the name. Something Saunders, I think, is the woman's name. I didn't.
Sound like a very elegant British actress,
right?
I guess.
Like if you told me it is someone from Downton Abbey, I'd believe you.
Yep.
But I didn't recognize her name.
Yeah. Fine episode. The Pokemon Go stuff wasn't overbearing, so it was fine.
The Pokemon Go stuff was very like that really hit me as far as we're super catching up, Yeah. Like that felt extremely modern.
Yeah, because it definitely was. Yeah, trying to think. Are we into 2017 now, or?
Yeah. Yep. Like this.
So
we're in April of 2017.
Yeah. So yeah. We're getting there. Only 2 episodes left in this season, and we're busting through the doors of season 29.
Yep. There's a great joke earlier in this where Nelson is kind of just by himself in the hallway during Grandma's Day at school. And he's teasing people to nobody. He's just doing it out loud. And he's just like, ha, Bart, something, something, in that cadence, that little sing-songy way that he does. And it slowly gets sadder and sadder to the point where he's going, I only have 2 grandmas. One's one's in jail. The other's in dirt jail.
You get real sad Nelson. Yeah.
Dirt jail is so goddamn funny.
Yeah, that was good. And him, again, doing it all by himself. There's no one there.
To nobody.
There's no other. Yep.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
It's a very emotionally damaged young man.
One's in jail. The other's in dirt jail.
Yeah, that was good.
Fuck you, that's funny. Well, we did it, Nathan. They said we couldn't, and here we are. Standing
tall. Where are the haters at now?
Yeah.
Where are the haters at now, I ask?
I'm going to go wrap up the rest of this Halloween candy, frankly.
You've earned it. I can see it chomping at the bit there. It's over your shoulder beckoning.
I am so fucking disappointed in myself.
That could be this fucking... the subtitle of our lives.
That could have been the name of this podcast.
It was going to be a chapter title, but it became the first 4 chapter titles, so we made it a subtitle for the book.
Shit. What's the name of your podcast? I'm so fucking disappointed in myself. Okay, what's it about? The Simpsons?
What do you think? My existence.
So sometime this week I have to go fucking buy more candy.
Yeah. You are far from the only one, I'm guessing.
That is my walk of shame, is having to go back to the seasonal aisle and buy more candy.
Yeah. Candy slut couldn't make it a whole week, could he? They make you say it. No, I am a candy slut.
That's my version of that Seinfeld episode, The Bet.
Yeah.
Just slamming money on the counter. Nope, couldn't do it. I'm out.
Yeah. Slam it down a bunch of crackle wrappers. I'm out.
Shit. So, yeah, I'm going to fucking fill that bucket and then put it on the patio where I can't fucking see it, is what I'm going to do.
Well, next podcast, you'll be able to tell us how it went.
Store all that candy in the toilet tank. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Like fucking prison hooch.
Hope next episode we get a tale of perseverance.
Yeah, well, so do I.
Shit in one hand, wish in the other.
Christ, if I have to make 2 trips to the grocery store this week.
Holy fuck. Spent $175 on mini Kit Kats this month.
Oh my god. We are going to talk more Simpsons next week. You can watch episodes 21 and 22 of season 28. And as Nathan alluded to earlier, then we will kick in the door to season 29, do episodes 1, 2, and 3. Soak up the duets while you got them, because they're coming to an end here. Yeah.
One more. I don't want to reveal it, but we got one more mystery banger coming up of the country duets. So.
Up the sleeve for you, just for you. You know who you are. It's just for you.
Faithful listeners.
I don't think we got any jokes going on this weekend with Halloween coming up. Thank fucking God. If anyone books comedy for a Halloween party.
Oh, I've done them, and it's not fun.
I have not, because why would I agree to do that?
Yeah, that's good times.
So finish off season 28 and then do 1, 2, and 3 for 29 for next week. Find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. Nathan, we will talk again next week.
Bye, everybody.